A grocery store is in court for not allowing an alpaca inside the store. A mother sued some porn sites because her son visited them. And a study shows that psychopaths are way more attractive than other people. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News. We're getting weird. We're getting down. We're getting dirty. We're getting bizarre. A supermarket is in court, and it will be decided if they discriminated because they didn't allow an alpaca inside the store. This is a camel-only store, sir. Your alpaca's going to have to be parked outside. Thankfully, we have an alpaca hitching post. I wonder what country this is. Tasmania. Where's that? It says here Tasmania is part of Australia. Thanks, artificial intelligence, for helping me get through the day. So in Tasmania, there's a lot of alpaca, I assume, along with some other animals. And maybe they're now on that same American tip, which is let's make these animals emotional support animals so we can take them everywhere as our pets. That's the thing. And it's spreading. Obviously, it's spreading. I can't go into the Home Depot without my emotional support woodchuck. Come on, man. I can't get on the flight without my beaver. All right, let's get into the Tasmania situation. It's a magistrate down there is going to be tasked with, this is a terrible job, but someone's got to do it. Going to have to decide whether a town supermarket actually broke discrimination laws by not allowing an alpaca inside the store. Well, the first question is, can you train an alpaca to not pee, poop, or spit indoors? Can you house train an alpaca, is what I'm asking. Secondly, I'd love to know what other creatures are allowed in grocery stores in Tasmania, because there's probably a list of weird stuff that you might see, weird creatures inside the grocery stores there. In the United States, it's usually only dogs and sometimes cats. A lot of times they're in a baby stroller, which I've always found strange. Did you know, here's a fun fact, that last year more baby strollers in the U.S. were purchased for pets than babies? Is that not a sign of the times? All right, in this story we have two individuals that have sued the Tasmania's Office of Anti-Discrimination. I can't pronounce the names, so I'm just going to skip them. Got some weird Tasmanian names. They allege discrimination after these two entered the IGA Everyday Supermarket. They entered with their pet alpaca named Violet. They were asked to leave the store because Violet was considered to be livestock and not permitted inside. Yeah, alpaca, livestock. I mean, I've only seen them on farms, but I don't know how close people are with their livestock down in Tasmania. I'd imagine a little too close. Now, the article here says that Violet is pretty famous online. Violet has received attention after being spotted at public places all around Tasmania. A bit of a local celebrity, Violet, including the airport, major supermarkets, and even on boat cruises on the river. Maybe part of the issue is that Violet, as famous as she is in the area, wasn't recognized in the supermarket. Can I pet your dog, mate? Your dog spit at me, mate. It's not a dog. That's Violet, the alpaca. Don't you have an Instagram account, you loser? Now, it says here the couple always posts videos on YouTube of Violet wearing an assistance animal coat and entering venues. An assistance animal coat? So like a service animal. This is a service alpaca. Never thought I'd hear of that. Usually it says members of the public meet Violet with intrigue. They're curious. And so they probably put up with a little bit of spitting and pooping on grocery store floors and on boats and at concerts and open mics and at the hookah bar. The pair's complaint to the ADC was referred to the Tasmanian Civil and Administration Tribunal. They have a tribunal. The word tribunal instills fear. It's such an old school. Like if any group is going to sentence you to a burning at the stake, it's going to be a tribunal. And now let's see what the decision is that they came to. One of the individuals on the board, named Robert, says their complaint was based on direct, indirect discrimination and offensive, humiliating, intimidating, insulting, or ridiculing conduct by the supermarket and discrimination on the basis of association with a person who has a disability. Wow, that's a lot. And I imagine a lot of it is not is baseless. I mean, offensive, intimidating, insulting, ridiculing. Why? Because they said you can't come in here? That's humiliating, intimidating, insulting, or ridicule, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm on the side of the grocery store until I get more data. It says here Violet is described as an assistance animal. Really? An assistance animal? I mean, yeah, you can have an assistance animal. Does it have to be 300 pounds, hairy, and pooping all over the floors? Spitting? Okay. Within the material provided by the complainant to the ADC was a medical certificate from her physician stating that Violet is used as part of the complainant's therapy. Oh, so it's not even like, I mean, we're not talking about someone who's blind and needs the alpaca to lead them around life. No, it's a form of therapy. In other words, I'm uncomfortable in the world, but I'm way more uncomfortable with my furry friend with me. So now you must deal with me bringing my smelly furry friend everywhere I go, even under the roof of your establishment, next to other patrons who might not want to be exposed to my hairy friend that's keeping me comfortable in my human skin. And by the way, as a sub-argument, everybody's uncomfortable in their human skin. It's hard to be a human. Life is not what we thought it would be. It's actually a big piece of crap for a lot of people, and I think that's the median line there. I think that's normal for life to be uncomfortable and stressful. You don't get to just have whatever you want in life around you all the time to keep you comfortable when you're around other people. Does that make any sense what I'm trying to say here? You know what makes me really comfortable in life, helping me get through, is drugs and margaritas. But I don't get to be on drugs and margaritas everywhere I want to be. Okay? There's rules against it because it makes other people uncomfortable when I'm sometimes on drugs and margaritas. At some point, you have to succumb to the realization of the facts on the ground. And I'm so sorry to be the one to give you the sobering facts on the ground. And it's a cliche. The world didn't begin when the doctor slapped you on the ass. That's the sobering facts on the ground. And unfortunately, there are people out there that are not accepting this incontrovertible fact of life. I'm talking to you, Karens of the world. I'm talking to you, people that need their emotional support pelicans on flights. Okay, now we have a quote here from the complainant who told the media that Violet goes everywhere with her and is the fourth alpaca that she's trained to be a service animal. Here's a quote from her. She helps me in public with people, and she lets my carer know when I am going to have an attack. An attack? What kind of attack? A panic attack? This is one of these people that just can't be around. I think they call that, what do they call that when you can't be out in public spaces? Agoraphobia or something like that. Yeah. There's people out there that have that don't need a large peeing animal around them at all times. And I'm sure your therapist is aware of other avenues of healing and of medicating that don't involve this, that don't involve you putting businesses in the precarious position of trying to defend themselves because they have foodstuffs around. Food establishments. I mean, these people think they can take their animals into any food establishment they want. Next thing you know, you're having your croissant or your garlic noodles next to a capybara in a baby stroller. Bizarre. Now, the owner of Violet also says, my goal is that one day I can get her onto a plane and go to Melbourne with her for a day and then fly back home again. That would be the best day of my life. She wants alpaca on the plane, guys. That's the next step. And probably going to keep suing until it happens. Now, Tasmania is the only Australian state or territory that does not classify what assistance animals really are, with state law only recognizing seeing or hearing dogs. Assistance animals offer highly trained disability support services to people who rely on them to participate in personal and public life with greater independence and confidence. I just feel so much more confident when my horse is with me. I'm off to jury duty with my horse. We're going to have to make room for the horse in the jury duty box because I can't do my duty as a juror without my horse. I don't have the confidence. I need my horse. Now, in Australia, these assistance animals are considered working animals along with seeing and hearing dogs and are covered under the 1992 Disability Discrimination Act, meaning they have full access to public facilities. Oh, so they're going to win their case, clearly. This supermarket's going to have to pay a fine. This supermarket's going to have to let in camels, llamas, alpacas, horses, you name it, cows coming in. Oh, I mean, you're going to be at the self-checkout right next to an emu. Just heads up, Tasmania. A mom sues porn sites because the son visited them 30 times. A Kansas mother left an old laptop in a closet and is now suing multiple porn sites because her teenage son visited them on that computer. Sounds like someone is trying to shift the parenting duty onto a tech company. The complaints were filed last week in the U.S. District Court for Kansas. They allege that the teenager had unfettered access to a variety of adult streaming sites. Yeah, because you left an old laptop in the closet that has access to internet and you don't have internet controls or prohibitions for certain sites. You have a teenager there. These are all things you can easily set up as a parent. But again, ain't nobody want to parent these days. Especially in Kansas, where they want to parent when the child is in the womb only, and after that, it's someone else's responsibility. You do it. You take care of it. Only want to parent when it's in the womb. That's when I give a damn the most. I mean, the contradictions that are evident in this story are just high level. We have a press release here from the National Center for Sexual Exploitation. What is that? Some sort of Christo-fascist center to raise money to ban porn? That's what's going on here. This is all PR for an agenda of completely removing porn in the U.S., in case you're wondering where this is coming from. They've named Chatterbait, Jerkamate, Tech Pump Solutions, and Titan websites as defendants in 4 separate lawsuits. According to the complaints, the mother, Jane Doe... Yeah, see, they're not even putting her name on it because this is all part of an agenda. It's BS. Jane Doe put an old laptop in a closet at home and forgot about it. Oh, forgot about it. Okay. But that's not your responsibility to remember things. Her son, 14-year-old, unnamed, found it in working condition on the laptop. He visited Chatterbait 30 times between August and October. Jane Doe was vigilant in monitoring QR's devices to prevent his exposure. Were you vigilant? So you could just lie, straight up lie. Clearly, you weren't vigilant. She was vigilant, She put it in a closet, after all. How was it? Pretty vigilant. Preventing exposure to harmful material during this important developmental stage of his life. If it's so important, this developmental stage of life to you, maybe you really should have been vigilant. You were not vigilant. I'm so sorry to inform you, and I'm not even a lawyer. Now, it says here the NCOSE, that is a conservative anti-porn lobbying group. That's exactly what I knew it was. Anti-porn lobbying group that's gone after adult material on Reddit and Twitter in the past and has supported efforts to ban Pornhub entirely. And who can blame them? They really believe that pornography is the devil. And so and enough people also believe this. In America, where you have enough money to put together an organization, they probably have a pretty beefy fund for lawyers and whatnot. They got a PR machine going on over there to take down pornography. Funny enough, I mean, another contradiction is this is the party of small government that wants the government to decide whether or not you have access to porn or not. So it all makes sense, really. Now it says here, Kansas criminal law defines harmful material to minors as involving nudity, sexual conduct, sexual excitement, or sadomasochistic abuse. Yeah, you want to take sadomasochistic abuse and remove it from the eyeballs of teenagers? I'm all for that. What adult though is like nudity? That is harmful to minors. Nudity is harmful to minors. I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, in their efforts to bring it all back to the 1780s, I suppose you could have that mindset. But, I mean, it's 2025. The words nudity is harmful is just like, I mean, it just sounds like something a crazy person would say in 2025. And as the dude said famously in The Big Lebowski, yeah, well, that's like your opinion, man. But at the end of the day, I mean, sadly, this woman probably has a case. And because this isn't like she found something completely harmless in her home, like a loaded gun left unattended in the house or something, This is naked people, thousands of miles away, but on a screen in their home.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
Psychopaths are more physically attractive, according to a new study. Dark personalities may not just be uncaring, self-obsessed, and skilled at manipulation, but they may also look trustworthy, according to a new study that sheds light on how physical appearance can subtly disarm our instincts. This study was published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences, and it examined how people perceive strangers' trustworthiness based on facial appearance alone. Yeah, this really isn't a mystery. I mean, we all, the face is the thing that we are exposed to first. So we have fight or flight, and we instinctually gravitate towards one end of the spectrum. Do I trust this person? Do I not? And obviously a much more attractive, radiating, smiling face is going to be more trustworthy. But hiding behind that face, as the study is probably going to show, is, could be psychopath. And I mean, some of us may have the data to, back this up in our personal lives. 3 trips to the ER and 3 relationships later, I can vouch that this data is actually correct. I'm just kidding. None of my relationships sent me to the ER. Sent me to therapy. That's for sure. Okay, so let's find out what these nerds have to say. They found that individuals with high levels of the so-called dark triad traits, which are narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. Almost couldn't say that one. They were consistently rated as more trustworthy. Why? Well, the answer lies in their looks. People with high dark triad traits tended to be perceived as more physically attractive, and this perception strongly influenced how trustworthy people believed them to be. In 4 studies involving nearly 600 participants, individuals were asked to judge strangers' faces in rating tasks and simulated trust games. Time and again, those with high dark triad scores were seen as more trustworthy from their image alone. Psychopathy, characterized by a lack of empathy and impulsivity, might seem like it would repel trust, but in practice, individuals with this trait can be highly charming and socially strategic. And probably why 80% of all CEOs are psychopaths. That's how they get hired. They seem socially strategic, highly charming, but at the end of the day, completely lack empathy, which is what you want. When all you care about is profits, this is exactly what you want. You want someone without empathy. I mean, I don't think we need to go into a discussion on healthcare CEOs, but I mean, you could put them all to the test for this one. They would pass with flying colors. Yes, another psychopath. And, sadly, I think the same thing can be said for politicians as well. You got to watch out for the good-looking ones. I'm talking to you, Gavin Newsom. You sexy mofo. That Gavin Newsom, he's sexy mofo. Gotta watch out for him. Okay, we got a psychologist in this story out of Chicago who studied the dark triad, who told the media, "We're hardwired to associate attractiveness with trust, a psychological shortcut known as the halo effect. This becomes quite dangerous when it collides with the dark triad personalities, who often know and use it to their advantage. These individuals will present as polished, confident, and even charming. They have mastered the art of performance. They know how to look like the ideal high-performing teammate or a visionary leader, but they're actually consolidating power and manipulating people's perception." Now, this study, like others, adds context to cultural phenomena such as the public fascination with serial killers. For example, Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer were both described as attractive or charismatic, qualities that may have helped them avoid suspicion. I mean, yeah, and it allows them to, sadly, have more victims because just more people found them charismatic and alluring, and they had electric personalities. I mean, look at all the women that were like lining up outside the courthouse for these guys with signs like "I love you." Ted Bundy, I mean, it's just like, it's known. Richard Ramirez as well, the Night Stalker. I mean, women found that guy super attractive. They were outside the courthouse. They wrote him love letters in jail. Jeffrey Dahmer, there's like a walking tour, a Jeffrey Dahmer tour in his neighborhood where he lived, and what I read indicated that the majority of the people on that tour are women that have some sort of attraction over Jeffrey Dahmer. We've all, seen this play out on a lower level when we had crushes in high school. You guys remember? Maybe you were a nice person, nice guy. Like I was a very nice guy in high school, and I'd have a crush on a girl, and for some reason she wanted the bad boy. She wanted that guy. I'm like, what does she see in this guy? This guy's like not nice, We all know it, and everyone knows he's not nice. But they're perceived as more fun. They were more fun. They make your heart race when you're with them because these people are unpredictable. They're impulsive. They're so confident and unafraid. They'll do risky things in your presence. They'll drag you into risky activities. And then, once you get a dose of that feeling, you chase that again and again. And so you want to be around the bad boy again and again. It can go real south though. Eventually you're bailing them out of jail, and then, restraining orders down the road maybe. But they are exciting, and oftentimes they're very attractive. How dare you leave me alone with Tommy at the party? He's a psychopath with his fine ass. Now, there's a flip side to this in that if you are an unattractive person, you could probably use this to your advantage in dating, or at least in the form of a pickup line. Hey, would you like to go on a date with me? It's obvious that I'm not a psychopath. Look at how ugly I am.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Air Force Research Laboratory is partnering with Google Cloud using AI to accelerate defense research for air, space, and cyberspace forces. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
Hey everyone, my fellow weirdos. Thanks for spending some time with me in the Weird AF News podcast. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time. We'll keep the outro brief. Let's give a shout out and a big thanks to Neville. Neville bought me a coffee. Neville says, hello from New Zealand. You are on my morning routine. Every morning I listen to you after the regular news. Keep up the good work, Jonesy. You are absolutely hilarious. Isn't that really sweet from Neville? Is that your first name or your last name? Are you related to Aaron Neville? I love Aaron Neville. Tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. But I know deep down inside of me. I could just sing Aaron Neville in a closet all day. Can I get paid to do this? I just want to get paid to sing karaoke, I think, at the end of the day. Anyway, shout out to Neville for buying me coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. You can buy me coffee and write me a love note, a note of thanks, a note of appreciation. Or you could buy me a coffee and write something nasty. Like maybe you didn't enjoy the podcast and you just want to stick it to me. You could also buy me a coffee and stick it to me. Consider. Weird AF News is the website to go if you want to support the show. If you would like to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. Maybe you had a take on one of the stories. If you want to call the show, the number is 646-450-2012. And Instagram, @funnyjones. That's where I'm at. Maybe you want to see me do live stand-up. So let me see. Where am I at this week? Okay, so Wednesday night, I'm in Atwater Village. That's a small neighborhood in the Los Angeles area. Kind of hip. So we know what that crowd's going to be like. And then, Thursday, I'm going all the way down to the Pechanga Casino. Have you heard of this place? It's down near like Temecula. The Pechanga Casino, Thursday night. Yeah, so that information will be on my Instagram, @funnyjones. So SoCal shows, per usual. If you'd like to come out and see me and support, say what's up. We'll do a shot and take a selfie. Take selfies together and do a shot. Or maybe have a full-on Tom Collins. That's kind of like what I've been drinking lately, so I could do that as well. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm going to let you go. I respect your time. I respect you. You should respect you too. You're beautiful, but you're not a psychopath.